Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to spend less money. In this video, I'll be going over 5 easy budgeting tips that you can use to spend less money and save more money. Let's get right to it. Number 1 is only use cash. Now there are benefits to using a credit card and paying off that credit card. You can have easy access to spending. You can earn points on that credit card. But if you're having trouble saving money, and if you think you're spending too much money, then using a credit card can be detrimental to you. If you have a budget of an amount of money that you want to spend each week, get that money in cash and only spend the cash. This way you know that when you have no more cash in your wallet, you've spent your budget and you don't have any more money to spend. If you have extra cash in your wallet at the end of the budgeting term, then that means that you've gone under budget, which is a good thing. You have some money left over. So budgeting tip number 1 is always and only use cash. It's literally the best way to spend less money. Budgeting tip number 2, cut out habitual spending. So sometimes we have habits like buying coffee every day, buying lunch twice, 3 times a week, once a week, whatever it is. Every single time that you have something that you buy constantly as a habit, it takes away from the amount of money that you have in your bank account and it causes you to spend more money. So if you can actually cut out one habit, especially if it's a daily habit like buying coffee every day, then you can save money every day. If it's a weekly habit, you can save money every week. You'll spend less money frequently, especially because these spending patterns are habits. It's not like something that you buy once. It's a habitual spending pattern. If you can cut one thing out, then the frequency of that habit will be how much less you're spending. If it's a daily habit, you'll spend a lot less. If it's a weekly habit, you'll still spend less money. So number 2, budgeting tip number 2 is cut out habitual spending. Budgeting tip number 3, clean out your fridge, your pantry, and your closet. Sometimes we go to the grocery store and we buy stuff that we already have in the fridge. Or we have food that's still perfectly good, or food supplies that are still perfectly good that we can use to cook things with, and we don't use them and then they go bad and we have to throw them out. The best way to spend less money is to use what you already have. If you have stuff in your fridge or your pantry, then you already have those things. They're already paid for, so you might as well use them. If you can use them as opposed to having to throw them out, that will cause you to have to spend less money. I can almost guarantee that if you look through your fridge and your pantry, you'll find 3 to 5 meals at least that you can make that you already have, and you won't have to spend money on those meals. In addition, if you clean out your closet, I can guarantee that if you look through your closet, you'll find some clothing that you haven't worn in years. And instead of going out and buying that new t-shirt, you might find one that you've owned for 3 years that you haven't worn in a long time. So when you wear it, it's almost like you're wearing a new t-shirt because you kind of didn't know that you had it to begin with. So budgeting tip number 3 is clean out and look through your fridge, your pantry, and your closet. Budgeting tip number 4 is buy in bulk. This is, in my opinion, one of the easiest ways to spend less money. Oftentimes, almost all the time, when you buy something in bulk, it's going to cost less per unit than when you buy something as a smaller package. For instance, if you look at food, if you buy a bigger package of cookies, of rice, of juice, of anything, your cost per unit is going to go down. Now, the best way to buy in bulk and make it work for you is if you plan ahead. So if you know that you're going to need a certain number of food items or units of something within the next 3 weeks, buy in bulk. As long as the food will last for 3 weeks without expiring, then you know you can use it. Buying in bulk doesn't only mean buying more units, but it also means buying bigger quantities in terms of the amount of milliliters that is, in juice or with milk. If you buy bigger packages that contain more milk, oftentimes it's going to cost less per liter of milk. Juice, food, whatever you buy, it's almost always going to cost less if you buy it in bulk. So that's budgeting tip number 4. Budgeting tip number 5 is one of the easiest ones to implement, and it's bottled water, giving up bottled water. Bottled water costs you money, tap water doesn't. It's that simple. Tap water is good for you, it's perfectly fine, at least where I live and most of the places that I'm imagining you're watching this from. So if tap water is completely safe to drink where you live and completely fine to drink, then go ahead and drink tap water instead of bottled water. Just get a refillable bottle, even if it costs you 10 bucks, get a glass refillable bottle or a stainless steel one, and just fill it up with tap water. You have no idea the amount of money that you will save in a 1-year period, a 5-year period, and a 10-year period. Calculate the numbers that you spend, calculate the amount that you spend on bottled water per week, per month, per year, and then figure out how much money you're going to save by changing to tap water. All that it costs is the initial investment of buying a refillable bottle, which shouldn't cost more than 10, maybe 20 bucks if it's really nice and it has some cool features. And it's literally that simple. That is how to spend less money. In this video, I've gone over 5 easy budgeting tips that you can use to spend less money. If you spend less money, that means you're gonna have more money in your bank account. It means you're gonna be able to save more money for bigger purchases. So use these 5 budgeting tips to spend less money and you'll be good to go. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.